slings put on this, and off it goes. It's been a pretty good machine, but it was dated technology when I bought it. It was a leftover 2018, and I bought it in 2019. First 4.5 years up here, I tried to make do with the Tundra, and that was a mistake. You need a mountain sled if you live in the mountains. The Tundra would do all right once the trail was packed down like this landing zone. In the deep snow, it would do all right too, as long as you could go fast. But the problem is going fast around here is a no-go. With all the twists and turns and alder trees and obstacles. You got to slow down and then you're stuck. It's a heavy machine, the Tundra, and it has 1.5 inch track on it, where this one's got 2.5 inch track paddles. New machine has 3 inch paddles on it and 165 inch track. And boy, does it make a difference. So if you're an old guy and you need to ride in the mountains, you need a 165. Don't even fart around with a 154. Later in the season, like April, when the snow's all hard packed, then you go 154 or 146. Good little short skids. If you're a really good rider, a 154 is fine for the mountains. Although some hills really require a 165. Really, none of the ones around here need a 165, but I'm old and I need it. That's it. She's gone.
So in the next couple days, I have to make a run back to town on the snow machine. And I won't be using the turbo because it'll overheat on the trail back to Talkeetna. I'll be pulling a sled back to town that I intend to get rid of. I'll be using the White Tundra snow machine to run the trail. But first, I need to get it all compacted down with this Summit, make it a little easier on the Tundra. Once I'm back in town, I'll disconnect the sleds and jump in my truck, run down to my storage unit, pick up the brand new 10-foot sled that I bought, and bring that back out to the cabin. There's a lake 11 miles from my cabin. Once I reach that lake, there's a maintained trail. It's hard compact. The Tundra will have no problem with it, but the Turbo Summit, it'll overheat on that hard-packed trail. So today I'm going to run the section of trail between my cabin and the lake where the maintained trail starts. Get that all compacted down. There's several very large hills, and the Summit will get a nice track laid down so the Tundra will have no problem getting up the mountains. And along this route from my cabin to the lake, I'll have to do some trimming, get some branches out of the way. So here it is a couple days later, and I'm still picking my way up to the mountain and over to the lake. So I'm down in the valley between the mountains ahead and my cabin that's behind me. And up ahead there's a creek that I'm going to have to get across. Once I get across that, I got a lot of brush that needs to be trimmed back. So there's some weather moving in. I need to get this done today. I need to get the brush cut back and the trail compacted down for the Tundra, and hopefully get the Tundra to town tomorrow. So I found a good spot to cross that creek, and now I'm just picking my way through the trees, compacting a trail for the Tundra, which is not that capable of a snow machine compared to this Turbo Summit. If I relied totally on the Tundra to get through this trail, I would get stuck numerous times. Not so much in these flat areas, but when you get to the hills and the deep snow, unless you can maintain speed with the Tundra, you're going to get stuck. So here it is. That's where I'm going to cross this creek. It's noticeably colder down in this ravine than the temperature up at the cabin. It's about -5 degrees Fahrenheit down here right now. So this new Summit Turbo, I'm still getting used to it. It's got about 30 miles on it so far. Has a tremendous amount of power. It's super capable. I'm really glad I got the 165-inch track length. It makes riding for an older guy quite a bit easier. There's a creek bed to the right side here, and I'm trying to stay out of that, stay as far to the left as I can. But there's a pinch point up here ahead. Just need to be careful. throughout the length of this ravine, there is a creek bed that runs, and there is some flowing water in it. And there's some hollow spots underneath the snow. You need to stay clear of all that. In a couple of the areas, I turned around and then came back over my track just to make it wider for the Tundra and the sled that I'm going to be pulling back to the cabin. The weather has improved greatly today. Bluebird skies, bright sun, temperature's perfect. So I had to ditch my helmet. I have a 2XL helmet. Actually, both of them that I have are 2XL. And I think my head is shrunk, so they fit too loosely on me and they're falling down over my eyes. So I need to shop for a new helmet. Now, in most years with decent snow, all these small alder bushes that you see, they're totally covered. But not this year. We haven't got that much snow. There's about 3 feet. Normally in this area, there's probably 10 plus feet of snow. So I'm getting off the trail a little bit. I'm supposed to be going to the left, but I want to get up here and show you the scenery. It's just a beautiful, beautiful spot. So up ahead is the Alaskan mountain range, and you'll see Mount Denali is the tallest of the peaks. Whew. Wow, look at that view. This would be a nice little piece of property right here. Ah. All right, I gotta go up there. came through this, and there were too many branches, so I came back around and stopped and trimmed some of these branches out of the way. I'm about the halfway point between my cabin and the lake that I need to get to where that maintained trail starts. So I made it to the lake and turned around, and now I'm headed back home to get the Tundra and the sled and tow that into town, pick up my new sled and bring that back out. I probably won't be back through this area until dark tonight, so it'll be pitch black this evening as I come back through. I left my helmet down at the base of this hill, so I'll make a pit stop and pick that up. And the run back to town on the Tundra, I won't be wearing a helmet. So I stopped here to trim a couple branches, and I didn't put my snowshoes on, and see what happens. Broke through the spot in the snow where there's a bunch of branches underneath, and it's just a hollow void, and pretty much fell in down past my waist. So here you can see that hole that I fell down into. Make good time in this flat portion of the trail. Headed back to the cabin to pick up the Tundra. So I got back to the cabin and I was soaking wet with sweat and snow. Decided to wait for the trail to harden up overnight, and now I'm headed into town the following morning. getting close to that lake where the maintained trail starts. Nice easy riding from here back to town. Just broke off of the lake and I'm on the maintained trail now. I've got about 17 and a half miles to town from here. So a couple things about this 2015 Tundra. It has a 4-stroke engine. It's a 600cc. It sips fuel. It's got a nice cushy seat. You can sit down on that and just kick back and enjoy the ride. Great fuel economy. It's a good sled. So this section of trail to the train tracks, to the Chase Trail, which goes down to Talkeetna. This is probably ridden on at least maybe once a day, maybe more, by people that live out at the lake.
Flowing water.
Safely across the creek and pretty easy riding here to the train tracks and then the trail down to Talkeetna. So I made it safely into town and got the new sled hitched up and going to make the ride back to the cabin. About 8 p.m. right now. Probably won't get back to the cabin until 11 or 12 tonight.
right, leaving Talkeetna. It is... time is it? It is 8 o'clock. I won't get home until about midnight. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Lights you see off to the left, that's Talkeetna Main Street.
It's snowing just a little bit. Not bad. Got the new sled, towing that. 5 gallons of gas in it, that's it. I didn't want to bring the fencing out since I was doing all this at night.
So I burned through most of my batteries on the way to town, so I got one battery for the chest mount and one for the 360 remaining. But there's not a whole lot to see at nighttime anyway.
All right, here we go. Go. Coming up to the railroad trestle. Hopefully nobody's coming the other way. It is just wide enough for the snow machine. And the sled is all right.
This railroad trestle goes over top of the Talkeetna River, just about where it meets the Susitna River.
We're over the bridge. So here's the new sled. It's a Northern Sled Works CrossFox 10 foot. And tows like a dream. There's no drag on the snow like with other sleds because of the plastic that it's made out of. It has this unique tongue design so that the snow that's kicked up by the track isn't thrown into the sled. You'll still get some in there, but not as bad as conventional design sleds. But it towed awesome. A bunch of gear I gotta sort out from the trip. Take that stuff back up into the cabin. So I had planned to use this style hitch, but it does not line up even with this elongated hole there. I'm gonna have to elongate this one also to be able to use it. This one's not that bad. It's heavy duty also. Try to fix this mess.